Did you know that the cranberry is one of the only fruits native to North America? Well, I didn't know that. Hi, I'm Lynette Louise, and today we're Cross Country Cookin with Cranberries in Hempville, Nova Scotia.
Cross Country Cookin, brought to you by Campbell's. More delicious ideas in every tin. Good. And Sifto, baking soda, naturally. And Eaton's, good satisfactory or money refunded.
Behind me is the Indian Garden Farm, and on the Indian Garden Farm, one of the crops, of course, is cranberries. According to Indian legend, there was a medicine man who believed that he was far more powerful than the local reverend. So he cast a spell on the reverend, who found himself sinking in a pit of quicksand. For 2 weeks, the white dove came and fed him little red berries and kept him alive. Some of those berries fell to the ground and took root. And that, apparently, is how the cranberry bog was born. I'm Lynette Louise, and we're here to talk cranberries on an Indian garden farm that is over 243 years old.
Adam Hibb was my great-great-great-grandfather. And he came from Germany, a place called Wilhelmsfeld, Germany. And he came here in 1753. And they landed at Lumberg. Of course, they stayed there a while, and the first member of the family raised a family, and then several of them moved out here to Hibbville. And at first, they were in the mill business. Lumber was the thing. They had to have building materials, all these people coming here, thousands of them. Everybody had to have a home, so you had to set up mills. And over a period of time, some of the members of the family got into the farming business. You have to eat too, you know. And when they found this property, there were remains of Indian encampments and gardening. They did some gardening too. I suppose it was very primitive at that time, but they did do some gardening. And that, of course, they call this property the Indian Garden Lot, but eventually they called it Indian Garden Farm. It was a good name for it. Up on Hibbs Lake, where there were still waters and marshes, and they went up with boats in these still waters, and they gathered the vines on the meadows. And they ended up with 3 or 4 different varieties, but they're all native varieties. And they brought them down and planted them in this area, in this bog area. They ditched this area to drain the water off, and then they gravelled these beds. They made beds with ditches all surrounding them. And they put layers of gravel over the mud. And this was done in the wintertime or on the ice. They put this gravel on the ice, and in the springtime it ended up on the ground. And that's how it all began. This house was, we're not sure of the date. It was recorded being built in 1857, but I'm sure it was here longer than that. And I was born in this house. I had a midwife. I've been a farmer for 50 years on this farm, and I'm soon ready for retirement. I think I've developed this farm to where it's a profitable farm in this time. And I've modernized as much as I could with the money I could earn. And we put in all the new equipment that we could afford to make it easier for us to farm. You still have to do some handwork when you farm, some. And I think I made it a viable farm, and I'm proud of that. Now my son can go on from there. It's made it a little easier for him, I wondered for a while when my son was in college whether he would ever come back and take over where I left off. And I was pleased when he did. And he's doing a very good job at it. He's really way ahead of what I was doing. You know, he's much more modern. He's not a bit afraid to spend a few dollars to make things better. It's not easy. It's become very expensive because you're working on land that you can't use heavy machinery on. And now we're coming to a time where we're getting interested in new varieties, varieties that color earlier. They grow larger crops, and so now our bog is half under the process of being changed over to new varieties. So over a period of 5 or 6 years, we'll have that completed. Well, it would be kind of disappointing if people came to the farm and said, "Have you any cranberries?" And I said, "No, we don't grow them anymore." "What?" Well, we just couldn't have that. And I like to do it. And it's profitable too. That's why we're here.
Every generation has added something unique to this farm. From mills to bogs to garden farming. The Hebb family has survived war and hard times, possibly aided by the cranberry, the Indian symbol of peace, but more likely due to the tenacity of the Hebb family themselves. It's wonderful to find a family so rich with history not just survive, but due to their continued efforts and hard work and love of family, become a modern-day success. So, I'd like you to meet the Hebb family. In a little while, Glenn and Jerry and I are going to talk cranberries, and you're going to learn everything there is to know about cranberries. And then Sue and I are going to go into one of the original Hebb family farmhouses and make a cranberry orange loaf. So you ready, everybody? Okay, smile. Do you have any idea where the name cranberry comes from?
Cranberry came from the fact that the blossom itself is shaped like a hook or a crane's neck. So they came up with craneberry or cranberry that's where the name came from.
Oh, I see. I'm here with Glenn, Jerry, and Sue's son, and he's going to tell us all about cranberries and how they grow.
Well, cranberries grow in a low vine, like this particular vine right here. This is actually a runner, which is how the cranberry vine will spread. It will root and produce these little uprights. And on the end of each one of these uprights, a bud develops. And in the springtime, will develop into a blossom and produce a cranberry.
And so that's what these are?
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
the more of these uprights you have, the better your crop will be. A better chance of getting more blossoms.
Okay. Well, you call this a bog, and I guess what I want to know is what's a bog?
Well, a bog is a low-lying area that has a wet, peaty type soil that will keep the plants with plenty of moisture.
So that's what the irrigation ditches are for. You bring the water level up and you just flood the whole thing.
The irrigation ditches are to bring the water level up or down, so we don't have too wet areas. They can actually be too wet, where the roots will drown. They're like any plant. They like wetter soil than most plants, but not super saturated soil.
Well, how long does it take between the time that you plant the crop until you get berries?
It's taken us about 6 years to get a reasonably good crop. I've heard of growers actually doing it in 3 years. Depending on the cultural practices and the type of soil that the farmer has, maybe the climate that you have, the variety you're planting, all those things come into play. This particular variety here is the Bergman variety, and it has a very lovely color and good quality. You can see here, this is the color that I'm looking for. nice dark, large berries.
I've heard something about old berries. Are these what that's?
No, these are the Bergman variety, and these certainly have a much better. They're much larger and darker red, and a much better yielder than the old native berries that are growing in the wild.
So the old berry is a wild.
Yes,
berry.
it's a wild berry that's developed naturally, and that's where all these varieties have come from. They've made selections from these old berries that are in the wild, and that's they've developed these newer, better yielding, higher quality ones from those.
For the last few seconds, I've been picking these berries, and it would take a very long time to harvest your whole field. How do you do that?
Well, at one time, when there was lots of cheap labor, they did pick all these berries by hand. And then they went to wooden hand scoops, and now we're using mechanical harvesters, which have been around probably for the past 20 or 30 years, and they tend to do a fairly good job.
Well, that's good, because this would take forever. All right, just before we go up, because I'd really like you to show me how that harvester works, I was just wondering, if I'm buying some berries in the grocery store, are there any particular things I should look for?
No, they're all about the same. Usually the different varieties aren't listed on a poly bag or package that you're buying anyway. But you certainly want a nice shiny red berry.
All right. So you're going to show me how to harvest these things?
Oh yes, we're going to start one of our harvesters up here and show you how they work and run it down the bog, and I'll give you a chance to try it as well.
Oh, okay, that's great. Maybe we could get your dad in on this.
Yeah. There you're getting it. Try one more time. Very good. You're getting them. Yeah.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi.
Colin, can I try that? Sure. Okay. This is hard work, I'm sure, but I'm sure I can handle it.
Oh no, you're not going to be using that. You're going to be using that.
Get out. All right, I'm game. Looks like I'm going to be harvesting cranberries, but when we come back, we're going to make a cranberry orange loaf with Jerry's wife, Sue. Okay, let's try it. All right, what do I do? Okay, that's fine.
We're rolling.
I'm all done measuring it on it. My goodness. Welcome back. This is Sue, Jerry's wife, and we're standing in an over 100-year-old kitchen that every generation has modernized and added their touch to the traditions of the Hebb family. One of the things that you've added is this recipe that we're going to make. Is that right?
Yes, we're going to make a cranberry orange loaf.
What's the history on this recipe?
It's been in the family for years, but my sister Catherine actually gave it to me.
I see. And have you changed anything about it?
A little bit.
So now it's not Catherine's recipe anymore, it's Sue's, right?
All right.
Okay. All right, let's start by reading the ingredients. And I'll just... Oh, this is really cute. Where did you get this?
Oh, my grandson Billy made that for me.
Oh, that's adorable. It's got a little clothespin on it. How old was he?
Around 5.
Well, there you go, Billy. Your recipe card holder is in the show. All right, let's see. What ingredients do we have? We have flour, 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of sugar, 1 egg, 1/3 of a cup of orange juice, and 2 teaspoons of grated orange rind. And I'm going to take care of that, right?
Right.
Okay. 3 tablespoons of vinegar, some water to top it up to 2/3 of a cup, and 1/4 of a cup of oil. And then, of course, 1 cup of cranberries,
Of course.
and 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. There we go. All right, everything's here, right?
Right.
All right, what do we do? How do we get started?
Well, will you grate the orange and squeeze. Will you grate and
Look, we've
squeeze?
just met and already you're giving me orders.
All right.
I'd love to grate the orange.
All right, well, I get the flour, the dry ingredients in this bowl.
Okay, terrific.
Okay.
Now, before you do that, is this the part of the grater that I want to use?
Yes, fine grate.
Okay, and I'm grating onto wax paper.
Wax paper, which
That's
is
the way you like to do it,
Yes,
right?
I do.
Why?
Oh, because it's easy to dump into the flour.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Simple and easy. Okay, I'm doing this. You do the dry ingredients. That's one
Two-
cup.
Yes, 1 cup.
You're sifting that.
Yes, I sift because it distributes the soda and the salt throughout the flour better. Now, the new generation don't believe that. They stir in the bowl. That's for you, Mary.
Who's Mary?
Mary's my daughter in Moncton.
And Mary doesn't sift.
She doesn't sift.
Neither do I, Mary. But I do recall having the odd muffin where you take a bite into it and you get a big taste of soda. So you know what? I think Mom knows best here.
That is why.
All right. So you've put in 2 cups of flour there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And 1 teaspoon of soda. That's baking soda. And 1 teaspoon of salt. Now, I sift this.
And you do it with such style.
Oh,
This
well,
is
after
fun.
practicing.
Actually, that looks like fun. Maybe I'll start sifting.
I like this part of it.
Now, there's sugar in the dry ingredients as well. Do you not put that through the sifter?
I stir that in, because that doesn't have lumps.
Now, is there any particular kind of orange that I should be using for this?
And no, not really. Any orange would do.
All right. What about those great big huge ones that look like grapefruits?
Well, you get more juice out of those, so you wouldn't need 2 oranges, perhaps.
Oh, it doesn't make it.
So-
Of course, I've washed the rind already.
Yes,
to get rid of
right.
the pesticides and stuff. Okay. All right. Just didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep
I
going.
need a cup of sugar.
Okie doke.
So we just dump the cup of sugar into the flour and stir. How is your...
I think
Do you
we've
have
got
enough
that. Looks
rind?
like enough rind, and so now I'm going to squeeze out this thing. This reminds me of my mother. She used to always use these juicers. They're great.
Oh, could I have your rind in my flour?
You put the rind in the flour?
Yes, yes, I do. And it distributes around again nicely. So,
Well, now that's different. Now, any other time I've seen rind used, it's always gone in with the liquid ingredients. How did Catherine do it?
in the liquid ingredients, I would think.
So that's Sue's touch. All right. Okay.
Okay, I'll crack the egg now and whisk it. 1 egg.
Okay, so what do we do next?
Oh, now we add the 2 tablespoons of vinegar. And enough water to make 2/3 of a cup.
Oh, I see. You don't actually measure the water out. You just put the vinegar in first. Then, well, you're measuring it, but you're bringing them up to the same
Right.
level together. Is that to keep it from causing a problem with the egg?
It could be,
Yeah.
yes, could be. And we'll dump that in, and you can dump your orange juice in.
All right.
And I'll measure the oil, which is 1/4 of a cup. 1/4 of a cup of oil.
Now, I see you're using canola oil. Is there a reason for that?
Well, it's cholesterol free, and we should be conscious of those things.
Okay.
Now I just stir that a bit. And make a well in our dry ingredients. Pour the wet ingredients in all at once.
Now, why do you make that well in there?
Well, you have to stir quickly, just until moistened. Will you get me a cup of cranberries, please?
You're gonna make me do that, aren't you? You just don't.
That was your idea.
I think she's getting even with me for something here.
1 cup of
Okay,
cranberries
okay,
and a
okay.
1/2 cup of walnuts.
Okay.
And we dump those in
All
and
right.
fold
all
them.
right.
How you doing?
So can I make this like a really big cup of cranberries?
Yes, we like lots of
cute and
cranberries for color and taste.
All right, there you go.
And now we fold the cranberries and walnuts, half a cup of walnuts, into the batter.
Now while Sue's folding, I just want you to know that you're going to have to bake that in a 325 oven for 1 hour. First we're going to put it into a greased loaf pan.
Oh, I have a Teflon pan, and you don't grease that. So
Oh,
if you would like to bring the pan.
I went and got my little thing to grease it with. And everything.
Well,
see,
this is much better.
see, I got it already. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'll pop it into the oven while you go and get your work of art over there, okay? All right, just watch yourself. Oh, that's beautiful.
And the whole cranberries look good too.
Oh, it's beautiful. It looks delicious. We're going to take this over and have tea with Glenn and Jerry, and I'm really looking forward to that. But before we go there, I want you to tell me, since you're the cranberry expert, do you have any special tips for cranberry sauce?
Well, most everyone knows how to make regular cranberry sauce, but there is one made with raw cranberries, cranberry orange. If you pass me that recipe, I'll
Raw? You
tell
don't cook it?
You don't cook it. You just put 4 cups of Nova Scotian cranberries and 1 quartered unpeeled orange through a grinder. And then you stir in 2 cups of sugar and chill. And you can keep it in your refrigerator a few weeks, or you can freeze it to bring out later. And it's
Oh,
delicious.
That's wonderful. And is this your personal recipe?
I use this, yes.
Okay, and I did notice that it's Nova Scotia cranberries,
Right.
probably grown right here, right, Sue?
That's it.
All right. Thank you very much. I've had a really great time.
I have too. It was fun.
I've really learned a lot about cranberries, and we're going to go and have tea with Glenn and Jerry, right?
Great.
Okay. I'm Lynette Louise, and we've been Cross Country Cookin in Hebdale, Nova Scotia. We've been cooking with cranberries.
And a cup of tea with it would be nice.
Hey, that's interesting.
Pass your cup, Glenn.
And there's no pork. See? Good.
Thank
Want
you
another
very
piece?
much. Okay.
What do you think, Jerry?
Very good.
That's very good.
Lynn and I made this together, and I'm really pleased with it.
Cross Country Cookin, brought to you by Campbell's. More delicious ideas in every tin. Good. And Sifto, baking soda, naturally. And Eaton's, good satisfactory or money refunded.